In one of the most competitive industries on earth, a single company has quietly climbed its way to the top, and not from Silicon Valley, but from an unassuming office in Texas. No celebrity founder gracing magazine covers, no billion-dollar venture capital lifeline, just a small team working from a modest space, building something that the tech elite thought was impossible. Today, that company powers millions of businesses over 100 countries. It processes billions of transactions every year, and has caught the attention of some major private equity players. They're profitable, growing fast, and if the rumors are true, gearing up for an IPO. And yet, outside of the marketing circles, almost no one knows their name. That anonymity isn't by accident. They didn't wine and dine investors in San Francisco, and they didn't try and woo the Fortune 500. Instead, they found a hidden backdoor in one of the most crowded markets on earth, and walked right through it. While competitors fought over these same customers, they built an army of loyal advocates who did the selling for them. And their ambitions? They're not shy about them.
We want to help people make money. We want to create businesses that are sustainable and recurring. I always say we want to be a $10 billion company. When I say that, I say I want 9 billion go to my customers and $1 billion go to me.
It's a mission that flips Silicon Valley's profit-first mindset on its head. And the craziest part is that the plan that got them there started as a complete failure. The market they entered is MarTech, short for marketing technology. If you've ever used email marketing tools, a CRM, an ad tracker, or even built a website for your business, you've touched it. It's one of the most cutthroat industries in the world. Each year, thousands of new products launch here, and most vanish in silence. For proof, look at the marketing technology landscape chart. In 2011, it tracked around 150 companies. By 2020, that number had exploded to over 8,000. Every inch of that chart is crammed with logos, from venture-backed startups like Salesforce and HubSpot to niche startups fighting for scraps. Most of these companies spend years and millions of dollars trying to claw their way into relevance, and they still fail. And the reason isn't just the competition, it's the fragmentation. Agencies and small businesses are often forced to duct tape a whole bunch of different softwares together just to run basic operations.
If you think about the old philosophy, it was you want the best product out there for the one thing that it does. Now, what that really means in the real world is go buy 30 things and hope that you can sort of stitch them together to Zapier. But everyone who's tried that knows that it sucks, it doesn't work, and it sure the heck doesn't scale. So now what?
That was the environment that HighLevel was stepping into, a red ocean filled with sharks, where every new entrant was just another logo on a wall. But this small Texas team was not about to fight the same battle as everyone else. And that's where the story takes its first unexpected turn. When HighLevel first launched in 2018, the strategy seemed obvious. Sell directly to small businesses. Restaurants, gyms, law firms, the types of businesses that constantly need new customers but don't have the time or resources to run sophisticated marketing campaigns. On paper, it made sense. Give them an all-in-one tool that handles their websites, their SMSs, the email marketing, bookings, and more, all in one place, and they can save time, save money, and get better results. But there was a problem.
Well, what feature is missing, right? Because you saw the demo, like, we didn't lie to you, like, what are we not getting here? And they were like, oh, it's great, except we just don't have time to implement it.
The product worked, the customers wanted it, but in reality, small business owners were already overwhelmed. The very people that HighLevel wanted to help couldn't carve out the time to set up a new system, no matter how much value it promised. The company could have kept pushing, trying to outspend the giants on ads, or hire a massive sales team to pound the pavement. But instead, they made a radical decision, one that would completely change their trajectory and eventually the industry. Instead of directly selling to small businesses, HighLevel asked a simple question: who already has their trust? The answer was obvious in hindsight: marketing agencies. Agencies already had the relationships, the expertise, and most importantly, the time to implement new tools. They weren't just serving one business, they were serving dozens, sometimes hundreds. If HighLevel could help them, those agencies could help everyone else. So the founders made the pivot. They took their software and made it white label, which meant that agencies could rebrand it as their own and sell it to their clients while fully controlling the customer relationship. This wasn't just a product anymore. This was a business model that agencies could plug into instantly.
I really feel like we're democratizing the power of software to change people's lives, our direct customers to create businesses for themselves, but also for them to then use that to help them change the lives of the small businesses that they serve.
With this shift, HighLevel created a grassroots sales force, an army of resellers that had every incentive to grow the platform. And because those agencies branded the software as their own, it spread quietly but rapidly, bypassing the noisy fight for attention in the crowded MarTech arena. For agencies, HighLevel wasn't just another tool to add to their stack, it was their stack. Websites, funnels, email marketing, SMS, reputation management, booking systems, all in one login branded as their own. This means that agencies could instantly look bigger, more professional, and more capable than their competitors, and they didn't have to juggle 10 different subscriptions. They could deliver results faster, keep clients longer, and charge more for their service. But the real magic, agencies were no longer just service providers. With HighLevel, they became software companies, recurring revenue and all, without ever writing a single line of code.
It's not about the Hydro Pros or the plumber or whatever. It's about the agency that's serving them.
By flipping the traditional software business model on its head, HighLevel didn't just win customers, they created evangelists. Agencies now had every reason to push the platform because their growth was directly tied tied to their own success. In a space as competitive as MarTech, disrupting the status quo doesn't happen quietly. HighLevel's rise triggered its share in backlash. Competitors dismissed it as a white label clone, a cheap alternative that agencies used because they couldn't build their own tools. Others questioned the long-term viability of a model that gave so much control and revenue to resellers instead of keeping it all in-house. And yet the numbers told a different story. By 2023, HighLevel was serving over 60,000 agencies worldwide. Its user base was growing by thousands every single month. The platform was processing billions of dollars in transactions and adding entire new feature sets faster than most startups could even fix their bugs.
So we were doing great. We didn't need any money. We were profitable. Now, a year later, I can totally see why that was genius and how it's helped us continue to grow quite rapidly.
In other words, love it or hate it, HighLevel had already secured its place in the industry, and the speed of its growth was beginning to attract a whole new kind of attention, not from agencies, but from Wall Street. For most of its journey, HighLevel stayed under the radar, happy to let agencies take the spotlight while it quietly powered the operations behind the scenes. But in the last couple of years, the company's trajectory became impossible to ignore. They've attracted major private equity interest, their product roadmap is expanding beyond marketing automations into payments, AI-driven lead management, and full business operating systems. And behind closed doors, there's growing speculation about an IPO. Sean has hinted at the scale of his ambitions before, and it's not small.
I want to be a $10 billion company. And when I say that, I say I want $9 billion go to my customers and $1 billion going to me.
An IPO would be the ultimate test, taking a company built outside of Silicon Valley's rules and putting it on the same playing field as the giants it's been quietly outmaneuvering for years. And if they pull it off, HighLevel won't just be a MarTech success story, it could become a case study on how to beat Silicon Valley at its own game. From the outside, it's easy to assume that success in the tech world follows a specific formula: raise millions, move to Silicon Valley, hire an army of engineers, and burn through cash until you find a hit. But HighLevel's story broke that mold. They didn't win by outspinning the competition. They didn't win by courting investors and chasing headlines. They won by empowering an overlooked group, the agencies, and gave them the tools, the brand, and the revenue streams usually reserved for the software giants. It's a model that's drawn criticism and admiration in equal measure, but there's no arguing with the results. From a small Texas office to a global footprint, processing billions of dollars in transactions, serving tens of thousands of agencies, and eyeing a $10 billion evaluation, all without playing Silicon Valley's game. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe you don't have to play the game at all if you can convince enough people to play yours instead.